Hey guys, welcome in. Today's yoga flow is going to be very all level friendly because it's going to build off of each pose. And we're going to be in a small space. So if maybe you're traveling or if you don't quite have a lot of space in your apartment or your house, this is a great yoga flow because we'll just be on our mats. We won't be doing any standing poses or getting off of our mat. So let's get started. We're going to start in a child's pose with deep rounded shoulders. If child's pose maybe isn't comfortable to start, you can spread the knees wide in a wide child's pose, or you can just find a seated position. Really, we're just taking this moment to transition from going about our everyday life. Maybe you've just come home from work, or maybe you're just waking up, just to settle down and be present with the mat. Since this yoga flow builds off of one another, you can take this as a restful day or maybe take this flow as a challenge. With that in mind, go ahead and inhale, roll up to a hero pose. Roll the shoulders back. And then let's just take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, find a twist. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to twist. Really short twisting motion since it's our first twisting of the day or of our yoga practice. Adding a little movement to the spine. Good, one more. Bring it back to center. Walk into your tabletop pose. Now, if that was a lot for the knees, go ahead and inhale. Extend one leg and the opposite arm forward and back. Finding a bird dog pose. And then come back to tabletop. Inhale, stretch out the other leg and arm. Good, come back to center. Knees are hip width distance apart. Inhale, find your cow pose. Exhale, stay here, sink the chest and the shoulder joints. Feel that back bend. Exhale, round at the spine, find cat. Inhale here, press your spine to the ceiling. Now find a little flow. Inhale to cow, exhale, cat. One more cat, exhale. Inhale, come to a tabletop. Curl the toes under, widen out your handstands, and lift your hips. Find downward facing dog. Find either stillness or movement. While we're here, I'm going to invite you to start your Ujjayi breathing. So since this is a kind of a quick yoga flow, I want you to really add in some heat into the body. So if you're maybe in a cold room, you're not quite warm, that Ujjayi breath or ocean breath is going to add heat to the body. So gently close your lips. Inhale through the nose. Send that breath to the back of your throat. Exhale out the nose. Look to the top of your mat. Take tiny steps to your first forward fold. Continuing your ocean breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. From here, we're going to hop into plank. So if you just want to hop halfway, you can either take 2 hops or just hop halfway, step into plank, shift forward, lower down to the earth. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, lower. We're going to add 2 heart openers. Inhale to locust pose. Flip the palms to face your yoga mat. Squeeze the legs together. Exhale, lower down. Press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Take either a half or a full hop. Find half lift. Exhale, fold. This time bring hands behind your legs. Press and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Plank. Shift forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra, rise. This time a higher cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, locust pose. Good, drop palms down to the earth. Come back into down dog. Look to the top of your mat. Ujjayi, breath in. Half lift. Ujjayi, breath out. Forward fold. Good, one more time. Adding on to our flow, find your half lift. Plant the hands. Hop into plank. This time step into or fall down into your elbow plank. Inhale, shift forward. Lower the hips down. Uncurl the toes. Find your sphinx. You may have to slide your elbows a little bit forward. Exhale, you can slide those elbows back. Lift the hips off the ground. Shoot them back. Find dolphin pose. Walk your toes as close to your nose as you're able. Good, then this is totally optional. Ground down your palms. Plant all 10 finger pads into the earth. Exhale, lift the elbows off the earth. Slightly walk your hands out, find downward facing dog. Good, shift forward, find your plank pose again. This time lower down on the opposite elbow, find your elbow plank. Lower your hips, find your sphinx pose. So shoulders should be a little bit over those elbows. Maybe this time you roll the shoulders back and slightly lift the chin. Curl the toes under. Exhale, lift the hips, shoot them back into that dolphin position. Walk your toes forward. Option to stay here or shift weight to one foot. Inhale, lift the opposite leg. Doesn't matter how high. Hips are square. Good, come back down. Shift weight to that foot to lift the other leg. Good, drop back down and walk your toes out. Find that down dog position with your elbows on the earth. Good, you can either set knees down and come back into down dog, or you can take that more advanced position, lift the elbows, walk your hands and feet out to down dog. Good, one more time. Inhale, shift forward. Lower down on your forearms. Inhale, find sphinx. Exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips, send them back, walk your toes forward. This time we're going to seesaw forward. So with the tailbone high, you're going to inhale, reach it up. Exhale, try to think about your shoulders shooting to your middle fingers or the tops of your fingers and shoot back. Okay, let's just do that 5 times. So that's 2 and 3 and 4. Last one. Good. Okay, you can come back into down dog, or just already you can come into that child's pose. That was a lot for your shoulders. You're just going to flip them behind you, melt your forearms into the earth. Exhale out the mouth, taking your breath away from your Ujjayi breath. Good, go ahead and find tabletop position. We're gonna open up the wrist in your tabletop, flip the fingertips back towards your knees, and we're gonna find our cat-cows here. So if it's a lot of weight on your wrist, your hands are gonna be pretty close to your knees. Inhale through cow and cat. Good, come into tabletop position. Shift your shoulders past your wrist. That's going to give you space to bend the elbows back and press. If this feels tingly at all or at any point it feels painful, you're not going to bend your elbows at all. You're just going to think about bending them back. Good. Flip both back hands to the earth. So again, if that's a lot of weight, like if you're like me, that feels like a ton of weight, I'm going to shift my weight back more towards my hips. Maybe curl the fingers in. Good. Release in a hero pose, shake out the wrist. And then let's make our way to the earth again. We're going to find that full expression of our locust pose. So you're going to bring the legs together. And just to find your position, you can inhale, find that locust pose once. And then you're going to exhale, set your chin and palms on the earth, pinkies next to your legs. Good. Then you're going to sort of shift side to side to tuck your arms underneath your belly. Your arms are going to be in between your hip bones. Pinkies are going to touch, and your palms are going to be extended. So you can't quite see with me on the ground, but that's what my hand stance is going to look like once I'm on my belly. So make your way there. Doesn't have to look graceful. Then inhale, lift the head, lift the toes off the ground, grip the earth like you're in an arm balance pose. So hug the 10-finger pads into your palm. Squeeze the legs together and find an inhale, almost find the tiniest lift away from your hands. Good, exhale, release. Bring your hands in front, rest your forehead on your back hands. Bending your elbows, that can feel like a lot of arm extension. Good, then bring your palms next to your chest. We're gonna find our modified peacock pose. So typically we do this pose with straps if you feel like it's a lot of weight on your belly. If you don't want to do an arm balance, you can come back to that locust pose. If you just want to try it out though, let's try it out. Let's bring our knees wide, like we're coming into our wide child's pose. And just to test out where we want our elbows on our belly, we're going to, if you're a girl, you're going to scoop the elbows down underneath your chest and tuck them just underneath your belly button and flex your palms. That's your arm position. If you're a boy, your elbows can come just straight down. So with that in mind, you can just from here tilt forward, plant the palms down, then come into your pose. I get that may be really intense on the wrist, so I like to lift my hips first, tuck one elbow down, followed by the other. If you want to walk your knees forward, you can for support. And just remember that the goal is to have both pinkies touching, elbows touching. I'm going to be taking a more modified version with them a little far apart. Good, so fingertips are back, gaze is forward, gripping the earth. And then I'm going to slide my knees back. And if you can't quite slide, you can sort of shimmy them back so your toes touch. Lean forward. And then you're going to exhale, lift the legs off the ground. And I want to try to bring my heels and knees in line with my hips. So I won't talk just because my elbows are jamming into my belly. So you can just watch for a moment if you need. And the knees can come back down, counterpose the wrist. That's a lot for your wrist. Maybe just try it once. Few options with the handstands. I like fingertips back because I feel like I can have the most space to bend my elbows. I have seen doing it in between fingers to the side and back at a 45-degree angle. You can do fingertips to the side. The only reason why I don't like that is there's more room for error for your wrist to give out, because as you can see, there's a lot of freedom with fingertips to the side. So try it out with the 45-degree or straight back. If that's too easy, once you come into that pose, you can lengthen the legs back into the full expression. So dig your elbows in, have a soft belly, exhale all your air out so that you are already putting those elbows into your belly without any shock. Then inhale and exhale, contract the core, and then you'll slide or walk your knees out, lift them, and then maybe extend. Good. So if you were watching, if you extend the legs out, one way to come out of that pose is just to let toes fall to the earth like you're in a plank and then come out. I'll show you another way to come out of that pose because it's a lot of shifting forward. This will protect your wrist. So my more dominant side is my right hand. So when I'm in that pose and I feel like I'm going to fall, rather than falling on my face, I'm going to shoot my dominant hand to my opposite hip and fall on the squishy part of my shoulder. And it's not a very far fall since we're bending our elbows so far back and our head is shifting really far forward. So I'll show what that looks like here. Again, you can keep practicing this pose as I'm demonstrating. You can come back into that full locust pose. Like so. So it's much easier than you think, especially kind of gets rid of that fear of falling or maybe hurting your chin or your face. Your shoulders are very strong, so that's one way to come out of that pose. If you're still wanting to practice that, you can keep practicing. If you're done, go ahead and take an easy pose. Gently roll or shake out the wrist. So even if you never wanted to come into that pose, I really like working into a peacock pose because it opens up the wrist. It's not very often where we think to open up our wrists throughout our day, and we hold a lot of tension there, right? We're always holding on to something. We're holding on to a book, a phone. We're holding on to a mouse when we're working on a computer. So just taking that time in our yoga practice to open up those wrists. Good. Let your back hands rest down gently by your side. If you're in an easy pose where you can rest them on your knees, rest them on your knees. Go ahead and gently close the eyes or just let your gaze drift off your nose. Take this small moment to thank yourself for finding movement, strength, and balance today. Bring hands to heart center and take a bow forward as respect to your yoga practice today. Namaste.